Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So here in Phoenix, it's a little bit more popular to use racial slurs and jargon than back home in Seattle. I have a favorite radio station, and my first day here in Phoenix, I was a little surprised on what was said on the radio. There was an advertisement for an air conditioning repair service, and they were talking about all these guarantees. And one of the guarantees was that there would be no Melvins on the job. I had never heard the word Melvins before. The first time I heard it, I thought it meant illegal immigrants, because that's the kind of person you might expect to be working in an air conditioning repair service. And after 4 months, I finally decided to look it up. It just means a lazy kind of person. But they really chose a name that could imply illegal immigrant or foreigner or something like that. That's what I thought for so many months. I don't think it's a coincidence. They want you to think that's what it means. I mean, they could have just said that there's no incompetent people, right? Why say Melvin? But it made me wish racial jargon like that was more popular, because then we would have something to work against, right? So I work at a tutoring center where I feel there's a lot of prejudice against people who are solosexual, don't have children to take care of. But I wish people would say it out loud that, you know, come here on Saturday because you don't have children to take care of. Because I could then defend myself, right? When it's implicit, they just call me because everybody else is busy with something else. I have nothing to work against at that point, right? I wish racial slurs were more acceptable, because then we could discuss about it, right? Imagine if when Rosa Parks got onto the bus, instead of being told to go to the back of the bus, everybody just ghosted her or something, or treated her differently. It'd be very hard for her to actually defend herself, right? So many years ago, my mom was really against the concept of interracial marriage. I was dating an Eastern European girl in college, and she got very upset about that. She said she didn't want me to ruin the family lineage by having a baby that was multiple race, and she was very upset about that. And she tried to introduce me to some Asian girls that she had known from her work, and so I invented a racial slur. I had learned about Elton John's song Nikita. In the song, Elton John was fascinated with a girl during the Cold War, and so Eastern European girls became known as Nikita. Now, if Nikita was also very intelligent, I called her a Curry because of Mary Curry. And then later on, when I got to know about Ewelina Falenta from Polish Idol, if an Eastern European girl were a sexual minority of some sort, maybe lesbian or asexual, or better yet, solosexual, I would call her an Ewelina. And it just gives us something to work with, right? So we can have a good discussion about whether or not it's acceptable to have an interracial marriage, right? Unfortunately, nowadays my mom's okay with me getting involved in an interracial relationship. She's just not okay with me being solosexual now. So last year, I got to know a Ukrainian refugee, and my mom was all for that, and now she's really disappointed it didn't work out. Anyway, so Melvin apparently means some lazy person, but apparently it's also a subtle hint that it might be an illegal immigrant, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.